This is Carlinkit's new and improved TBox Max, and in this video, we'll be taking an in-depth look at this powerful little device. The TBox Max now comes with a USB Type-A port as well as Android 13 out of the box, meaning that we get upgrades in terms of both hardware as well as software. This is the elder brother to the TBox Plus, which I had reviewed in great detail not too long ago. Both of these are Android AI boxes, and in case you don't already know, an Android AI box or an Android box is a device that can convert your car's original infotainment system into a fully functional Android device that looks and operates similar to an Android tablet. And the only major requirement for these kind of devices to work in your car is that your car should be compatible with wired Apple CarPlay. That is it, meaning that these devices should work just fine for you since most cars already meet this requirement. Be sure to watch this video till the very end, as I have an exclusive discount coupon for all of you to use on your Carlinkit purchases. So without further ado, go on and subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notifications, and let's finally get on with this video. As always, let's first quickly have a look at the box and all of its contents. We get a very familiar looking square box this time around as well. We get a picture of the device itself at the front, no information at the top, and a bit of information at the bottom. Like I said before, this here is the Android 13 version. I got the top variant of this device, which is the 8 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs of ROM or internal memory. The only other memory option available for this is 4 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs of ROM. You do also get the option to expand the external memory using your own micro SD card. However, unlike the TBox Plus, which supported a maximum of 256 gigs of external storage, this TBox Max now supports exactly double of that, an additional 512 gigs of storage. Big upgrade. Moving along, on both the left and right sides of the box, we get a few logos representing the 4G SIM card network compatibility, online software upgrade, as well as its built-in GPS. The black mark here represents the model variant. Moving towards the rear, we can see the model name, which by the way is also known as TBox Ambient, along with a preview of the user interface, which we will be checking out in detail very shortly. Also, this USB variant is powered with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 660, which is an 8-core 64-bit 14nm processor coupled with the Adreno 512 GPU. The TBox Max also supports wireless Apple CarPlay, supporting iPhones 6 and above that have iOS versions 10 and above, as well as wireless Android Auto for Android phones versions 10 and above, although some phones may require at least Android versions 11 in order to function properly. In the box, we straight away get to see the TBox Max. Let's keep this aside for now. We get some paperwork in several different languages, 2 USB cables of both Type A and Type C ports, depending on your car of course, and finally a metallic SIM ejector tool. Coming back to the main device, this one here looks absolutely gorgeous with a sort of a web pattern at the front with company branding in the middle, which is surrounded by the circular RGB LED ambient lights. Size-wise, it's pretty much the same as the TBox Plus, though it is a bit chunkier, which is why it is also a bit heavier, weighing about 85 grams. Just like every other Carlinkit product, the build quality of this one is also top-notch. At the rear of it, we can see the model name, memory variant, voltage values, as well as the serial number. We don't get much of anything going on most of the sides, apart from one side where we get to see all of the ports this thing has. Here we get the SIM card slot, a micro SD slot which supports a maximum of 512 gigs of storage, a Type C port to power on the device, as well as the Type A port. Alright, now let's connect the TBox Max to my car, the Kia Sonet, and test it out. Here I'll be showcasing the features of the TBox Max with a working SIM card as well as a micro SD card of 128 gigs inserted in the device. All you have to do here is use the USB cable compatible with your car, connect one end of it to the TBox Ambient and the other end to your vehicle's corresponding USB port. And after approximately 30 to 35 seconds of the initial boot up, we can see a warning page on the screen letting us know of the dangers of watching videos while the vehicle is in motion, and in the process preventing us to do so since that is not safe. As always, these sort of videos are focused mainly towards the co-passengers in your vehicle and not towards the one actually driving the vehicle. You might notice a prompt to restart the device in case the device automatically calibrates the screen according to your vehicle's respective screen size. And done, you should now be getting a similar looking user interface like the one we can see over here. Okay, so I've already set up the device here in my car as I've been using and testing it for about 10 days now. The USP or the unique selling point of this TBox Max is that it now comes with a USB-A port as well, which means that apart from turning your car screen to an entertainment powerhouse while on the road, now you can also utilize the provided USB-A port to connect to either a mouse or keyboard, a pen drive to watch offline videos, or even to power on a dash cam, which does work out pretty well, especially if your car does not have a lot of ports to begin with. My front dash cam, the 7 My Omni has been working flawlessly with its USB-A cable plugged directly into this device, and watching personal videos or even movies without any performance issues throughout directly from a connected pen drive will also prove to be quite convenient for most people. In terms of the RGB lights on the physical device, we do get the option to change the ambient light effects within the settings. Although we get limited settings for these lights, and I would highly prefer to see a few more customization options here as well as a few more menu layouts apart from these two. Looking at the main menu now, we get to see a slight change in the layout, which of course may differ for different car models. The main menu consists of a side dock on the right with the time, status indicators, last 4 running apps, as well as a shortcut to toggle between the main menu or the apps menu. Besides the side dock, we get a large widget for your favorite maps application, which can also be customized to any other app of your choice such as YouTube. On the top left, there's a now playing widget mainly for music, and right below it are 4 apps that can be customized as well to quickly access your favorite apps right from the main menu. Like most other Android boxes these days, you'll immediately notice a sort of a floating bubble on the screen, which can be removed if you like. We can drag this bubble anywhere on the screen, clicking on which we get to see a few useful options, including a back button that I really appreciate. With the absence of a dedicated back button on the entire interface, which seems to be a very common miss in such devices, chances are that you can easily get stuck on a particular app, forcing you to go back to the main menu each time, which can be a bit of an inconvenience. The multitask button, which shows all of the opened apps, and we also get the option for voice or Google Assistant. The split screen button would prove to be very useful on the road for the co-passengers in your car as well. Also, if in case your car does not have a touchscreen, you can still use this device by pairing it to a wireless mouse that works with or without a dongle. So there are many ways you can actually use the TBox Max. At the top area, we get the notification menu similar to what we see on our Android phones, which is nice. As informed earlier, we do get the option to pair our mobile device to connect to either wireless Android Auto or wireless Apple CarPlay using the app called AutoKit. For the sake of presentation, I'll connect my Samsung Android phone now. iPhones will work in a similar fashion if you use an iPhone. In order to connect, all we need to do is enable the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on the phone and pair the phone to the TBox Max. And just like that, we now have wireless Android Auto connectivity with the all-time familiar looking menu here. All of the apps here function exactly like the wired counterpart with latency at a minimum as per my testing. Few of these apps, namely CarStream, Fermata Auto and YouTube Auto, allows to watch videos while the car is being driven and can be very useful specifically for your family and friends to keep them entertained while you concentrate on the road. I've already showcased all of these apps in great detail in separate videos, so I won't be showcasing them here in this video since they function exactly the same here as well. Let's just play one of my videos right now for the sake of presentation. I really like the textured finish at the top of this thing. This might look like a plain surface, but it is not, as it has an embossed sort of a design pattern in which the colors seem to be changing with a change in light being thrown at it. Looks really good, doesn't it? Let's now quickly have a look at some of the apps of this device and see how they function here. All of the basic features such as making and receiving phone calls directly from the inserted SIM card or even messaging anyone work just fine here. Video streaming apps such as Netflix and YouTube work flawlessly even while driving, which are definitely going to be a favorite for your family members or friends sitting in your car as co-passengers. And if you have any personal video files or movies saved locally in the inserted memory card, then just like the pen drive option we saw earlier, you can view them here on the screen using the app of your choice. You can use the provided file manager to manage all your videos, movies, or photos, or you may even download some other similar app for it according to your preference. Navigation apps such as Google Maps and Waze work just fine here as well, and I couldn't find any issues while using them in transit, which means that GPS seems to work just fine as well. And of course, Google Play Store works just as intended, where we can even use voice search to look for any apps to download. Pretty much everything works flawlessly, and the response or latency in between apps is really good as well. In case you don't wish to buy or use a separate SIM card, you can always enable the Wi-Fi of the TBox Max to get internet access from a hotspot enabled device within your car. That works just fine too. However, you might not get the same results if you connect to the hotspot of the same device you connected earlier for wireless Android Auto or wireless Apple CarPlay. In that case, you might just need to constantly toggle between the hotspot connectivity to use either of the features. But I do not find that to be a major issue since there are already a lot of good alternatives provided here by the brand. Another very practical practical idea would be to enable the hotspot here on the TBox Max and let everyone in your vehicle share the network from the device itself, which would then act as Wi-Fi for all the car occupants while on the road. I did also download and install a few hardware and software information utility apps for the device. Here we can confirm that the TBox Max is in fact using the claimed 8 gigs of RAM along with the company stated 8 cores as well as the 128 gigs of internal memory. Android version 13 is currently being used here, which can be upgraded as well using the built-in Photo app, quite similar to the TBox Plus. We also get Wi-Fi 5 here along with Bluetooth version 5. Qualcomm Snapdragon 660 chipset, which includes a quad-core 1.84 GHz chip along with another quad-core 2.21 GHz chip. And finally, the current temperature readings on the device and all of its components. In terms of gaming, we can once again very easily pair any preferred Bluetooth controller like I have done here, which would be the ideal option for playing games in the car for most kids. Very useful option for those who have children, traveling with them every now and then, which will definitely keep the kids busy, enabling you to drive peacefully without any distractions. And with all of the controls conveniently available at your fingertips, you can control the one possible distraction as well, volume. Since all of these apps, including games, would be using the built-in surround sound system of your vehicle. And as you can see here, Real Racing 3 seems to be working smoothly with my paired Bluetooth controller, which is the Evo Fox One Universal Bluetooth Gamepad. Other games should work in a similar manner provided those games also support gamepads. And finally, emulation games will work really well in this sort of a setup if that is what you're looking for, and I would highly recommend using a wireless gamepad for playing such games too. In order to purchase the TBox Max USB-A variant, you can visit the official website of Carlinkit. And don't forget to select the device specific to your region. Use my discount coupon HarryWT to get a 20% off on your purchase to buy any of Carlinkit products. At the time this video is being recorded, the Android 13 version of my device's variant is available for around $199 US, meaning that using my discount code HarryWT, you would get a massive discount of approximately $40 US. And apart from the TBox Max, there are several other car accessories they have to offer for you to check out. For reference purpose, my TBox Max was delivered to me in about 10 days time with no hassles whatsoever. In conclusion, the TBox Max USB-A variant packs a ton of features to be used inside your car and is surely a great deal if you use my discount code to buy it. And with that, we have reached the end of this review video. Hope you found this video informative. I'll catch you guys soon in the next video. Until then, stay safe and take care. Bye.